esquece tudo. Um sentimento bom que me leva pro outro mundo. A vontade de te ver já é maior que tudo. Não existem distâncias no meu novo mundo, tipo coisas da sétima.
This is episode 48. I'm here in the house with Anthony Baker, 4th of July weekend, July 2nd, 2017. You guys will probably be hearing this, July 3rd, so that'll be Monday, maybe Tuesday morning. A lot of people off on the 3rd. Probably everybody's going to be on the mat. I know we have training tomorrow and Tuesday over at Sunnyvale and One World at 10:30. I think there's open mat on the 4th of July.
I have to work on Monday.
You got to work?
Yep, but I will be there on Tuesday.
So let me get this straight. You're at a corporate gym, and they're working. Those corporations they're attached to it, are they working as well?
They are open.
Okay.
They're open, but I don't know if you know how many people will be working. I can't tell you that.
Working out's a great time. I mean, but there's always that balance. Like, an empty gym is awesome because all the equipment's open and you have free access to everything. However, there's something to be said about competition, and it kind of I get a really good workout when there are a bunch of people around, because it kind of boosts that sort of male testosterone. Get the F out of my way. I'm going to use this thing. I don't know. You feel like it peaks some kind of hormone where you work a little bit harder. You ever notice that?
I have noticed that, and I think it's just the energy being used in the room. Everyone is not necessarily. They are maybe competing like in their own little mind where they should not, but I think it's just natural.
I think it is natural as well. One of the other things that will really make or break my workouts is the lighting. Does that make sense?
No, it makes sense, and I think that should go with certain types of gyms, though, because you could have poor lighting.
Yeah.
In a gym where it shouldn't feel like a grimy, get down and dirty C.T. Fletcher style gym.
Yeah.
But where in his gym, right, he might be, feeling that light low and angry cursing.
Yeah, but in a C.T. Fletcher type of gym, those guys, like, you got some real competitive dudes in there. Like, you have some
that's
monsters in there. So you have that balance. Like, so I'll break down to, like, these aren't hardcore gyms at all, but there's a 24-hour fatness in Mountain View, and there's one in Sunnyvale. They're both large facilities. They're both clean. They both have plenty of stuff to work out on. They both have plenty of toys to play with. The Sunnyvale one has way more squat racks, but like there's still a good number of squat racks in the Mountain View one. The big difference between the two is the lighting in Sunnyvale. It's bright, it's open. There's just plenty of light.
That would definitely probably boost the energy.
To me, it does. It just it's almost like a cave type ceiling in the Mountain View gym, and the light's real low, and it just drags the energy right out of me. I don't know what the hell it is. Like, that's the only thing I can really attribute it to. My workouts in Sunnyvale are way better with the exact same type of amenities afforded to me.
Can I just say before I forget, when you said they have a bunch of squat racks at the Sunnyvale spot, I was working out with my buddy the other day, and he told me at his gym in Campbell, I'm not going to blow up. He said they don't have any squat racks. Didn't understand what he was saying. I said, what do you mean they don't have any squat racks? He said, there's no heavy barbell, like 45-pound barbell on hooks anywhere.
That's not a gym.
No, they don't have that.
That's like a hotel gym.
What?
So
how funny is that?
I wouldn't even go. I'd get a better workout with just a bar at home. I would just buy a bar and some kettlebells.
That's what he's gonna do. That's what I told him. Might as well just get a little squat rack. You can stand up in your backyard and just do it. Because to go to the gym and not have a squat rack, it's crazy.
I'm spoiled now, man. The one down the street, there's 10 of them with the bumper plates.
Nice.
And having the plates all be the same diameter and stuff. If you just work out at a gym that has nothing but hex plates, and you're trying to do Olympic lifts or power lifts and stuff like that, it's really difficult. It's a pain in the ass. I like having the round plates because I'm kind of OCD about symmetry, and if the bar's not exactly lined up with the floor, if it's kind of off the side.
But yeah, that would mess up the lift though anyway. So that's why it's good to have those equal diameters for the different resistance.
Well, yeah, you got people trying to do these, compound lifts for the first time. And, if you're sitting there with 225s, that's not, unless you're much shorter than the average person, like to actually get all the way down there, there's no way.
No way.
It's not meant to.
Teaching that deadlift, at lesser weight is perfect, right? Having the larger diameter with the less resistance.
Well, you have like a couple tens on each side, and you can get down and really work on form. So you have people that try to jump in and just stick a 45 on each side like it's going to be easy, and it's if you don't have your form down, you're gonna get hurt for sure. Yeah, but besides all that, the thing with 24-hour fitness, and there's a lot of them that suck. If you live in a place that doesn't have a good one, I get it, but if there's a decent super sport in your area, I like having a membership. I've had a membership with them for years because, kind of pro tip, if you travel a lot for work or for anything else, not having to get an extra night at a hotel because you have access to that 24-hour fitness, the shower, the pool, the workout, everything. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've been in LA where there was a number of hours between flights or a number of hours between I had to do one thing and another thing, and just sitting and waiting in traffic. It would have sucked spending another $200 for a hotel, because that's what they cost, man. Like, once you get done with it, because any place you stay, there's always you get this great deal on hotels.com, but then you get there and they're like, oh, you have to pay a resort fee, which is the privilege of using the Wi-Fi, and the privilege of sleeping here, and the privilege of they make your bed and stuff. Like, what are you talking? So you pay $50 for your hotels.com thing, but then every hotel that's $50 is really $119. Because, by the time you're done paying taxes and all these fees, and God, what are these? And it's close to an airport, so you have to pay another fee. So by the time you're done with all that, you're paying almost $200 for a hotel room. I exaggerate, but it could be. You never know demand. But having that 24-hour fitness membership, if all you really need is a place to just drop off, hang out for an hour or two, take a shower, change your clothes, get, shaved, brush your teeth, whatever, having that membership, I'm not saying live in the 24-hour fitness parking lot. I'm saying if you have a couple hours where it's either I have to spend all this money on the extra few hours because, you have to check out at 11 a.m. or, well, maybe I'll just hit the beach, or maybe I'll just do this and this and this. And I'll just stop at 24 and grab a shower. It's really convenient. Just being able to work out on the road is
I bet that's really
because hotel rooms suck and sleeping in airports sucks.
And so too, hotel gyms also.
Because that's what made me even think of that, is because your friend basically is paying for a really expensive hotel gym. You got to get off these machines. If you're injured, if there's something wrong. The machines and all this stuff is great.
Yes.
But in terms of building and really learning how to develop your body correctly, your core, your whole, the frame of your body, it depends on everything working in concert and building from the center out, building from the core out. And without those compound lifts, the squats, the deadlifts, the bench, the kettlebell, the free weights. You need free weights. Free weights, man.
People are, kind of nervous about them, though. I come to start to recognize they're heavy, and there's a lot of funny videos out there on people, not lifting properly, and they don't want to be that person, and that's understandable,
Well,
but that's why you should get help. You should ask for help when you need it.
What I noticed when I was in Brazil, a lot of the gyms there, you would pay to go, and you'd use what you're paying for is the facility, but there would be trainers coming around to actually show you how to do stuff, and they would help you if you were doing stuff wrong. And I don't see that here. It's a pay to play model here. The trainers they'll just look at you, and they'll help if there's an emergency, like if there's absolutely an emergency. But they're not. You go to a 24-hour fitness, they're not going to come over and be like, hey, real quick. Because that's not it's a subscription model, right?
Yep, there's no value in it for them, and that's what's kind of sad about the way the certain facilities are run, and that's terrible for the member. That's too bad.
It is, and for someone to differentiate a product one versus another, to say well, what's the difference between this a Ray's Built Tough gym and a 24-hour fitness? Because on the outside, to someone that isn't serious about fitness or health or bodybuilding or any of or athletics in general, they look like the same product. They both look like they have machines and weights and blah, blah, blah. One just looks like they have bigger, more muscular people. And I think the misconception is that all gyms are the same and you're just going to work out somewhere, and it's wrong. And you can see by the just how the people look that work there and the people look that work out there. You can see that very clearly if you know what you're looking for. But to the untrained eye or the untrained body and eye, it's hard for them to differentiate maybe. And then the price point is all over the place. So you could have a gym that really doesn't offer much more than here's a shiny place with a bunch of Nautilus equipment and it's this much money, because the way they sell gym memberships, it's like buying a used car. They'll charge you whatever they can get out of you. And the prices change all the time, and I feel like a lot of the pricing and sales practices are kind of predatory. Like you go into a gym, you don't know what the hell you're doing. You don't know how to like haggle or negotiate. Yeah. Like you're gonna get beat up.
Interesting.
Have you ever gone in?
Not in the longest time. I feel like
the
past few years. I mean, the gyms that I always work out at, I have worked at,
which is
super lucky, and that's why picked a career that made me happy. I have definitely that with the 24-hour model for sure, because I have known trainers from there and never worked there, or I feel like I've had membership at the Right Stuff and Gold's Gym, but I don't think ever really had one. Oh, maybe the one on Hillsdale a long time ago.
Yeah.
And they would definitely try to get you to buy like personal training every once in a while. But if you don't know how to haggle or what you're looking for,
or how to say no. And I think,
how to say no.
And I think because they would sort of do that, and the model was kind of high pressure sales, a lot of people just would say no and just hide from these guys and just go to Costco and try to get the membership that way or whatever. And I think it makes it kind of challenging. So what do you got going for 4th of July? You got anything, any big plans?
Nothing too exciting. No, the city of Cupertino has set up an event to take place, and they restricted a lot of the parking for people in their little area where they're going to view. And I don't understand how they could have these logistics, seem that they were going to be, enjoyable for the citizens.
Yeah,
the place that they're shooting the fireworks off, I guess, or in a place for a lot of people to see it or whatever. But if you live on Miller Avenue or like certain other streets, you can't park in front of your house. Like if you get off work at a certain time,
you're stuck.
Yep. And then I'm not even sure, they have like certain designated areas, but if you live at like, how far away is it going to be, and all these other things. So I don't know. I feel like they could have planned it way better. Man. Isn't that crazy? I feel like they could have planned it way better.
Yeah, I see a lot of restrictions. I mean, and I'm sure there's a conservationist reason for this, but last year I was over at the Monterey Bay, just sort of in Monterey, just expecting, you're looking at the water. It's 4th of July. You're like, any minute now there should be something. And they completely banned fireworks on the Monterey Bay.
Interesting.
Maybe the whales. I really don't know. They have the aquarium right there. There's a lot of people that are really interested in the marine wildlife and so on and so forth. And it's, it's a rather expensive place to live and be. So I can kind of see where they would do something. It's just sitting there. You would expect it's a very touristy place to kind of go and chill out, and then for there to be nothing was kind of unexpected. But
and not even put on by the city either. It was just totally
just banned. No, not the city performance, and it could have been budgetary too, because I mean everybody harps about California and money and all this sort of thing, and being the state isn't exactly hemorrhaging cash right now. But I couldn't really tell you.
Usually an environmental issue, I feel like. That's what part of the Cupertino beef was, I feel like. People have more knowledge of it than me. They were saying something about the level of explosion, like where the fireworks would take place, was too low. So they want to move it somewhere else. But that's when I'm like, well, why don't you spend some extra money to get fireworks that explode higher up?
Yeah.
Instead of making people park different places or whatever. So, I mean, I don't know. I feel like that's just weird, but...
Yeah, it's crazy. I was out in I was in Nevada. I'm in Nevada a bunch lately, but I was out there just last 2 weeks ago, and the one town, Pahrump. It's there were a lot of people actually staying for the EDC. I think they used to call it Electric Daisy Carnival. I don't know if that's still what the acronym is, but it's that huge like EDM music festival.
Yeah.
there were so many people there. And it was insane.
I like the name of that town, Pahrump. It just sounds kind of cool.
It's like, it looks like everyone is. They look like the people from that show. What's it? Sons of Anarchy. Right. So, and it's in the middle of nowhere, and what it's famous for is really the brothels and stuff. There's casinos, but what they do have is 24-hour fireworks stores, and these are like Walmart-sized fireworks stores.
Like year-round?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Like you could go up in there, spend literally $100,000, and the shelves would look exactly the same.
Damn.
Like you can spend bank on something. They these giant blockbuster kit things, and they're in the thousands, man. They're expensive.
Damn, that's tight.
It's just a desert town, kind of middle of nowhere. But yeah, it's I guess where the legal brothels are and stuff. What they also started putting out there lately is the grow operations for all the cannabis dispensaries there. And just about everyone I talked to either knew somebody or they had a friend that was either working for or ran one of these things. Because in Las Vegas, this is like everybody that's in the business world or whatever. That's what they're talking about. It there's so much hustle going on now.
Yep. I bet there is. And how far is Las Vegas from Pahrump?
So it's 45 minutes if you punch it. It's about an hour though.
That's not too bad.
So if you imagine have you driven to Vegas?
No.
All right, so there's the main I-15 that goes sort of like north-south, right? Mm-hmm. So you would go to LA or you'd go to like Reno, right? Through Nevada, right? That's where the sign says. So if you're on the 15, you basically would go to 160, which is Blue Diamond, and you just go straight through Red Rock Canyon. Like you drive through the mountains for like an hour, and then you pop out and you start seeing some casinos. What's it called? Front Sight? It's a tactical shooting place. That's
what it's called. Yep.
There's
Front Sight.
There's a really famous one where you can go and do all kinds of tactical sniper training and shit like that. It's out there. So that's one of the things that's.
I've never heard of that place.
I think it's called Front Sight.
Cool.
It's the middle of nowhere. Yeah, for people that are like really into like the run and gun stuff, like the urban like warfare type training. They have that out there, because obviously Vegas is big with guns, so you can go and rent any kind of machine gun or whatever.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
I feel like that's so awesome.
I've never done that. What I've done I've gone shooting in Nevada, in Vegas lots of times, and outside in Pahrump as well. I got my CCW there. It was nice. They offer the class for free in Las Vegas.
What?
8 hours. It's an 8-hour class.
It's free?
It's free at the gun shop or gun store in Las Vegas, right off of Tropicana and Eastern on the east side. You sign up. There's a waiting list because there's a lot of people go, and for them it's great because they get the certified trainers. You get your card, all this stuff, but there's that you can rent machine guns there, so it drives so much business because while you're there, whoever's in town waiting for you can go and do one of these shooting experiences or whatever while you're in the classroom. The big difference. I've taken CCW classes in a couple different states and stuff. The Nevada one so far is the hardest. It's the longest. It's 8 hours, and you do actually have to shoot. They do.
That's a good thing.
The other ones you don't. There's no.
That's not a good thing.
Yeah. So Utah, Texas, which other? Arizona for sure. You don't have a shooting test.
You did that in all 4 of those states?
So I've got those 4.
Holy crap.
You can get there's like reciprocation clauses and stuff. And I'm not a big gun nut or anything. I just I just like the idea that if I'm going to be traveling through certain areas where I don't know the
safety's paramount.
Yeah, so I was planning some cross country stuff a couple years ago, and it was
right on.
I kind of wanted to have that. A friend of mine was doing it as well, so we're like, we'll just do that. And California's got
very smart, laws. Very
but,
smart.
Yeah, just for home defense stuff like that. I do believe in safe, responsible gun ownership. Safes and all this stuff, but I won't get into if guns are good or bad or gun control discussions with anybody because I really don't care to change anyone's mind.
No, I don't either. But what I can do is say that it sounds like you really have a respect for the weapon, just understanding it. Yeah. And I read something the other day on dig.com, a news story about how a prank went wrong.
Oh. The book, right?
Yep.
Stupid.
What the hell are you thinking when you put a book up to stop a bullet?
Well, it was a larger caliber gun too, wasn't
And it was close, right? I feel like they were like close.
Oh.
What could you possibly think? This is not having understanding of the finality
Yeah, it's gun.
of using a gun.
It's gun. It's like it's one of the most controversial objects on the planet, and it kills
So
stuff.
crazy.
It's
And
only
that's only what it's meant for.
it has one job.
That's
it's
it.
real good at it.
Yep.
Real good at it. And
But it won't do anything if you just kind of leave it there. It won't do anything.
if you respect them,
It's so crazy.
education's the key, man. That's with anything. I think education's the key. You're not going to wish all guns away. You're not going to wish all war or violence away. You're not going to protest it away either. I'm sorry. And as long as they exist, I feel that education, responsible ownership, and I do believe in proving the way that we go about getting them, or proving that someone should or should not have them. I think that should be improved.
I think, yep, you should definitely have some type of health check go on with your mind.
Yeah.
I think that's something that's not too ridiculous to ask.
I believe the health check's a piece of it, but what I always, not always, but what I've come to understand or come to believe or think is a good idea. I should say think, because believe. When people say belief, it seems so like final, and it seems so like decisive, and you can't backpedal from a belief. But
Yeah, but you should be able to, because if you get more knowledge on something, then it's like you should have the maturity to say, oh yeah, maybe I was wrong about that belief, and now I believe something else.
Totally. So,
But not a lot of people have that. But I'll give that to you. I think you.
My current theory would be something like a point system, where certain things, maybe on your record or on a background check or a mental health check, would add up to certain point values, and some are going to have much steeper values than others. And at some cutoff, it's like, well, here are qualifying and disqualifying factors, and if your point, your things against you that don't necessarily have to be like discriminatory, don't necessarily have to be bad, but it just happens to be a situation. Like if someone is suffering from significant ailments, or it has gone through certain things, and then there should be certain criteria that has to be met to maybe prove that they should be able to have a firearm. It's not saying like this person is a bad person because they experience these things, but in the interest of the public safety and the best interest of the family, the people around that person, like maybe they shouldn't have a weapon just yet. Maybe there should be some sort of therapy they have to go through if they've gone through this certain thing. I'm not saying that, because this may apply to many victims of bad situations, and I'm not saying like victim blaming, or that you should necessarily, just because someone here's a good one, man. This has been something that's affected my family, a lot of people, man. PTSD.
Yeah.
At some point, like, should this person have access to weapons or not? Like, should there be some therapy? Should there be some things to show that, okay, should they be able to have a weapon? Yes or no? Like, you look at, was it Chris Kyle?
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is a decorated war hero. There's obviously controversy with the Jesse Ventura stuff, with the movie, with the things in the book, but was that avoidable? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. And I think there's a lot of studies in mental health that haven't been done yet. I think there's a lot of studies that go into like the gun violence and what people go through that we just don't know yet. And right now, anybody, and it sucks because there's a lot of these laws that are just done politically, that all they really do is police the people that actually obey the law.
Yes.
Because we, like, either one of us could right now go get a 3D printer and just make whatever we want.
Yes. Yes.
So it's a slippery slope. So that's why I'm like, I really don't have beliefs about it. I see both sides of arguments and stuff. I see a lot of it just politicized, but all I'm saying is, for me, for my home, I take for my home and my own personal safety and the safety of my family very seriously. So for me, I choose for home protection to have one and to have them around in the house and in a safe way. Nobody has to follow my lead. I don't care. Like, you can do whatever you want. It's not important to me to convince anyone to do anything. It's not. I believe in people having the freedom to choose bad or good.
I do too. And you should have that
So,
right.
So the story was you had a boyfriend, girlfriend, like high school age people, like or just like fresh out of high school.
Something like that. Yeah, they were young adults.
And in order to build their social media following or YouTube followers, the boyfriend actually held a book in front of him, like an encyclopedia, right?
Something like that, or dictionary, something with a little bit of weight, something that you.
And he had his girlfriend stand in front of him and shoot him. I'm gonna say almost point blank, maybe not point blank.
I think it was pretty freaking close. It was pretty close.
And he died.
Of course.
He basically used the book.
She blew him away.
It was a book. It was a fucking book. Book doesn't stop bullet ever.
In a movie, it might though.
Yeah,
in a movie,
but
and that's where the problem. I don't know if it's really a problem, but I guess it's a problem if you are just ignorant, because when you watch a movie and if you know the power of a gun, you'd be like, oh yeah, that wouldn't work. But it was cool in that scene for it to take place, and we move on, even though you know it's not real, but
Yeah.
it would be cool. Or like when someone will give a treasured item to someone, like a pocket watch or something, and it stopped the bullet. Or like, I feel like I've seen a couple of movies where they've received some type of, I'm dying, here's this thing, I love you, and they give them to them, and they hold it, and they put it in their jacket or something, and they get shot, and it's like, oh, it protected me.
yeah.
Like, okay, that was very touching. It's not gonna happen.
No, never again. That was it.
The end.
That was a movie. And
But yeah, exactly, and that's why it's like, oh, look, that's just a movie.
So, did you see?
Guns really kill people.
What was the other thing that was stupid as fuck on social media? The woman that it was in Sunnyvale actually. She was being tailgated by some guy in a car.
Oh yeah, that was just recently, huh?
Yeah, and it blew up, and everybody. What you see? Here's what I saw, and he might have. She did whatever she did when she was riding her bicycle. They don't show that part. She describes it as he was harassing her. She seemed frantic, and she gets off the bicycle. Here's the part I have a problem with. She left her daughter in the middle of the street, like stuck on that bicycle, to go and confront this guy, to start yelling at him. And he's just sitting in his car. Did he call her like something really bad? Yeah, he did. But she was in his face for a while. All she had to do was just get out of the way or turn, just go about her business. But like, she went to pursue a confrontation with this guy while she left her daughter strapped to a bicycle in the middle of the road, like not even in the
bike lane.
No,
but
just in the lane blocking traffic. Like,
when you're gonna turn left, though, you're supposed to be in there, and that's why it is kind of weird.
you're not supposed to get off your bike on and leave.
You're not
and leave
supposed
a
to
little
do
kid
that.
right there.
You're not supposed to do that. So it's almost like the two wrongs.
It's stupid. And she's going like what she wants. She wants him to be publicly shamed and wants him to be fired. Like that's what she wants.
Yeah, she wants some type of justice.
But like the CPS could just as well come and say, "Hey, you left your kid in the middle of the street to fight a white dude." That just like and okay. So as a white dude, like when you what did she call? She called him something first, and everybody in the comments were like, "That's not racist because he is white." I'm like, "No, it's racist. It is." Because she went out of the way to call him.
I can't think of what
She's like
says.
something white prick. So, like, if he was just a prick, that's not racist. But saying something white prick, that's trying to generalize all white people as that. Like, that is racist. What he said was way worse. But she started the race thing. But unless something else happened off camera, in which case I'm supposed to believe that this very rational person who leaves her daughter in the middle of the street yapping is going to be honest in how she described it on Facebook. But they're both wrong. If I was them, I'd be fucking embarrassed. I wouldn't post anything.
No.
I would have been embarrassed because they're both very wrong. And
Yes.
the people in the comments that are jumping on, anyone defending the guy who he looks like a prick and he sounded like a prick, but he sat in his car pretty calmly as he was being harassed by this woman. So is he racist? Yeah. Is she? Yeah. I think they both suck. And I think they're both very good examples of why this generation kind of fucking sucks and social media sucks.
Can I also say, because not even just this generation, but it's like the people in time. the people in time, and not everybody, but what I notice as I walk around in my daily life, often people don't even say excuse me anymore.
Nothing.
They will just if there's some room in between, like some space where they want to go, they'll just like turn their body and walk by instead of being like, oh, excuse me. It's so crazy to me. It's so crazy. So instead of just being like, oh, I want to get by here. Or is the other person totally oblivious that there's some extra energy right next to them, so they're just going to keep going about their way? It's like it's a double, right? So two people in this situation, just like that example with that woman on the bike and the guy in the car. You'll be in the grocery store. People with carts trying to get by, and it's like, I'm looking at these items on this shelf so intently, and so I'm so focused on what I'm making for dinner tonight, I don't notice you and your cart trying to get by. But and now you will just be like, oh, I'll just go around.
Yeah, people are afraid to talk
bump
to
your
people.
cart a little bit, and it's like, you hit my cart. Like, well, yeah, you didn't scoot over, but it's so crazy.
Yeah, people don't give a
Say
shit.
excuse me, excuse me, and then everything will be fine. It's not.
You think that with the level of technology we have that focuses just on socialization and communication with others, that we would have somehow embodied this spirit of maybe, I don't know, appreciating how different and vastly complex societies are, and how communication and common courtesy should be a thing, and we could have turned this thing into a utopia. But no, all of this socialization has taken us back like generations, and there's no respect for personal space, which I see in people saying, oh, that's an American thing. Fuck no, it's not. It's not. Appreciating people's boundaries, space, and respecting other people is not an American or any other thing. It's just treat people the way you want to be treated. And like, look, what do you have? The only thing you see online, the majority of it is, here it is. It's like 90% World Star, 90% conflict, street fights, and here's how this situation could have ended. And then like the 1% where we're supposed to go, oh, humanity, we're so fucking great. When someone actually does something nice, or somebody makes a huge deal about like tricking a homeless person, then being like, oh, I'm really rich, here's some money, look how great I am, I did something nice for a homeless person. Like, man, fuck you for making that.
It's overwashed.
Yeah, it's like it should be the 90% and the 10%. But people just want to be glorified and like, look how nice I am to the poor homeless guy. It's like, no. Fucking, you're supposed to be nice to people anyway. It doesn't have to be a YouTube video. It doesn't have to be a Facebook video. And the people take the wrong message from it anyway. I feel like the people that see somebody doing nice for somebody on YouTube or Facebook or social media, they're like, oh, look what he did for those people. Man, I should really do that because I got 1 million views. Fucking scumbags. Just be good to people for the sake of being good to people. You don't have to be good to people because somebody looks at your shit online. Here's a fucking pro tip. Just because you get 1 million views doesn't mean you're going to make any money. You know who's going to make money? The people that put content like that out for a living. They're going to take yours, they're going to sell it, put ads on it, and you don't know how to do anything about it. It's already too late. So your 1 million views, just look at the Catch Me Outside girl, right? Mm-hmm. She got millions of views, but she's a fucking imbecile. She's like the worst part of everything that you could possibly imagine in this world. Parenting gone fucking terribly wrong. Idolization of the wrong fucking celebrities, and they're all the wrong fucking celebrities.
All of them. The
Fuck
parenting gone wrong.
Fuck that parent.
Did you where is it, in Washington? At Evergreen College, did you hear about this with that Brett Weinstein guy?
What's up?
Well, just these students have like overtaken this college, and I feel like it was in the past few months, or I guess it's just come to light into my conscious mind, but it's probably been going on for a little bit longer. But I guess at this school they used to have like a day of absence where black kids or like minority students wouldn't show up. So it kind of would show their place, in society. Like, and it's predicated from this play that happened a long time ago, where black people in the town wouldn't show up, for their role.
It was like cut day, but just like minorities.
Something like that. So right. And then that's been like the tradition, right? But it's based off a play from a long time ago. So I feel like it was either last year or 2016 or 15 or whatever. They asked the white faculty not to show up. and the white students like, you don't show up this time. So it was like reverse discrimination, dude. But that's what it ended up being because this professor, Jewish guy, kind of spoke up about it. Like, no, we shouldn't do that, you know. And he kind of wanted to stop that old tradition. Also, I think I'm not entirely sure, but dude, the kids went crazy, and everyone's calling him like a racist for saying that the white people should still go to school. It was just
Everybody should probably go to school if that's how they're spending their time talking about.
It's so crazy though. It's so crazy because he's a Jewish guy, and they are just labeling him as a racist because he thinks that people should be more equal. But these students like went total anarchy. These same guys that are calling him a racist are trying to say that they want the police on the school to be shut down, and then that they will run the police department. It's just so crazy.
That's fucking weird.
Insanity.
Dude, people aren't rational. They're just not. They're more emotional, and a lot of people just want attention. A lot of people are just bored. They're just fucking bored.
Totally.
So they really just want to be able to check in somewhere on social media and say, I was there, I was part of that, and fuck this one or that one, because it gets you some sort of attention, or just being divisive or controversial or whatever. People are just angry. They want something to point at.
And they want to pretend like they're standing up for something, but it's like you're basically like reversing, you know, certain things that people have worked for. It's so crazy in that particular case. But that's what the Jordan Peterson guy is also facing out in Canada, you know, just like the social justice warrior, you know.
Dude, you live in this area near us, and you come to really understand what that's about. Like, I listened to that, what's it, 88.5? It's not NPR. I think it's Pacifica Radio.
Oh, I'm not sure.
I listened to it.
AM?
Yeah, no, it's FM, but it's like the first. It's like one of the first things on there. I used to listen to it a lot because there was some. They would have a part where they play some like really nice like local jazz music. They would have like a lot of local hip hop artists and underground artists, and the music part was cool. There'd be people that came on there and told shorts. There'd be short stories and like a lot of local art stuff. And for me, I was just seeing what was up, and I was entertained by a couple of the short stories. But I'd turn it off at night, then turn it on the next day, and it would be very political. Very the rhetoric's very anti-president, very anti-Trump, which is a very popular thing to do these days because he says very polarizing things, and he is Donald Trump. You see his most recent tweet is literally him when he was doing the WWF or WWE match with Stone Cold Steve Austin and Vince McMahon and Bobby Lashley or whatever, and he runs and punches Vince McMahon. But they put a box over Vince McMahon's head. Trump did, or whoever maybe he retweeted it. I didn't see that, but I saw from President real Donald Trump, because it makes me laugh that our president is at real Donald Trump. Like, it's just like, isn't it like real like fucking Paris Hilton and like, so funny. Real Bill Cosby or real fucking Bob Saget as like real.
Steal
Donald
the name, man.
Yeah, so somebody has I don't know, but anyway, it was he was punching Vince McMahon, and they put a CNN logo to cover up Vince McMahon's head, so it's like him hitting the fake news media and stuff. And it's like, this is really the fucking world we live in.
It is.
It's really ironic. You have that movie Idiocracy.
Yep, and that's so funny.
It's like now, it's happening right now. It's insane, and we even the celebrities figured out a way to buy the UFC, so they're able to maybe make it all into one big deal, right? Mm-hmm. Speaking of big events, that we've got IBJJF Masters Worlds, I think, is booked the same weekend as the Mayweather Conor McGregor fight in Las Vegas.
Oh,
yeah. So the convention center, I think, is hosting Masters Worlds, so it's right there next to the Westgate, which is really cool. I didn't really know much about the Westgate. I do know when you go in there, they try to kind of sell you on the timeshare thing. There's like, I think you can buy timeshares, like own your. So they are trying to kind of haggle you when you get in there. I didn't stay at the Westgate, but I went there for a Comic-Con a few weeks ago with Stan Lee and the guy that created Deadpool, like Rob Liefeld was there. Marv Eastman, the guy that created the Ninja Turtles, was there.
Very cool.
Yeah, it was a cool Comic-Con. I'd been to a few this year. I went to the one in Anaheim, the WonderCon. I went to the local one here, the Silicon Valley one. But the Las Vegas one was neat. That Westgate Hotel is huge, and that convention center is really big too. So I know, like Andy was actually there for a judo convention or judo tournament seminar. They had those judoka snapbacks. They released them at the
Very
convention
tight.
center this past week from Dojo Outfitters.
Shouts out to Dojo Outfitters.
Love Andy Hung, man. We're gonna see him soon. You got the One World hats and shirts coming, so all our One World fam on here, family. I should say family. I'm too old to say fam. There's
I don't know.
Can we say fam? We're in
think
California.
so.
We might be able
Yeah, I
to.
think
I'm
so.
on enough like of those sneaker heads like Facebook groups. I think I can say it. Like,
Pretty sure.
all right, maybe.
Pretty sure. All right.
But
Too
yeah,
hard on yourself.
Masters Worlds is coming. I know American Nationals is next week in Vegas as well.
Dude, I was thinking about doing that Worlds, but I don't know if I can commit to it, man. No, my money is just a little crazy. My money's a little crazy. If I can get maybe some, backing sponsorship to pay for some tournaments coming up,
We should
that would be huge.
do like a GoFundMe or what was it called?
I don't want that one,
It's
man.
weird,
I
right?
want someone to be like, "Yep, I'm gonna do this." Company to come forward,
That's it.
help me out. That's what I'm looking for.
This is a purple belt star right here. If you're out there, you're looking to sponsor an athlete. This dude's great representation of the sport and of an American hero just out there hustling, man. This USMC right here.
Trying
He's
to
a
bring the
vet.
real.
He motivates you every Monday. He don't get paid for that.
Nope.
So
I just love doing it.
if I was something like, I don't know, like Mission 22 or someone, I'd look at this guy and be like, that's the guy I want out there representing my group. So if you're down with the military, you're down with jiu-jitsu, and you want to make, you want to see your brand represented on the stage where you possibly very likely have a future world champion right here, Masters Worlds, right?
On the podium.
On the podium with your brand. I would definitely give a very close look and take serious consideration with my friend Anthony Baker over here.
You let me know if you need any contact information. It's AnthonyBakerShow.com. I believe you might have to type in theAnthonyBakerShow.com. I'm not that popular. You can't just Google it. You can't just Google search it. It won't pop up.
No.
You actually type it in the banner. Go ahead and do that. Go ahead and check it out.
No, but it's great for some of these brands coming up like Luta Gear with their grip tap. If you guys and this is not a paid spot. These guys sent me one of these to try out, or two of them actually. It's called the grip tap. If you tape up your fingers pre jiu-jitsu, pre-training, pre-competition, these are a cool alternative to that. You don't have to worry about the tape coming off. You don't have to worry about blowing all that money on all that, because the tape's expensive, man.
Tape always comes off.
And it's addiction. It's an addiction. Like if it's part of your pre-jiu-jitsu ritual, like whatever that ritual is, like you're gonna go with that for a while. Like that's the way you do it. Like you're gonna tape your fingers, especially if you had a finger injury. What these do, they're basically like a real snug neoprene sleeve. They come in 2 and 3. They might have the individuals as well. I got the 2, so it basically is my ring and middle finger that I'm kind of worried about. And what you do is you kind of wear it as like a finger glove. It stays on. It's not coming off during training, and I feel like it improves my grip and protects my fingers. Like I've worn it a few times now. I'm not always taping my fingers, but I feel as a preventative and post sort of injury thing, it's a great product. Shout out to the guys from Luta Gear, my homeboys down there from the Jean-Jacques Machado Academy. Everybody's got hustle at that gym. Like everybody's got like a product or a thing. They've got gis over there. They've got the LA Jiu-Jitsu Club, but grip tap. It's all over the place from Luta Gear. I think they got a website on here somewhere, but check it out. The other guys I definitely have to thank real quick before we get back to the action is Azoth, seekingazoth.com. They make an awesome nootropic product. If you ever heard of the ones from like Alpha Brain, that type of stuff, this is similar, but in my experience, it's stronger, it's potent, it's got a real pick me up to it, and it really helps me get around and do my thing. So getting town to town, meeting all these guys, training at all these places. Like when I go to do a podcast with a gym, I train with everybody first. So I'm getting beat up by the best of the best. I'm not trying to hang in there after a 500-mile road trip or a flight, whatever the hell it is. It's usually me in my car, to be honest. So after I train with everybody, and then I talked about the podcast. So I'm not just coming up into gyms and saying like, hey, I got this show. No, I'm coming in, I'm dropping in. If there's a mat fee, I pay the mat fee. Whatever, buy the T-shirt, whatever you do. So Azoth, it's got Alpha GPC in there. It's got all the good stuff that I think New Pept is another one of them. to really keep you going on the move. It helps with cognitive function, helps with memory, helps keep you sharp when you're not feeling so sharp. So check those guys out, seekingazoth.com, promo code Cronin, Cronin at checkout for 15% off. And you'll be on your way. You'll be faster up here where you need it, right? And it'll give you what you need to get through your day and to kick more ass and to be smarter, faster, quicker, funnier. So check those guys out, Seeking Azoth. And we're approaching the 4th of July, and I'm hearing more and more stories, and it's closer and closer people to me, and I don't want to hear any more of this drunk driving shit. I don't want to hear it. I'm tired of hearing about people that matter getting hurt or getting killed in car accidents. So just don't drink and drive. There's Uber, there's Lyft. Be responsible. Plan your plan your party, right? I don't care. Have fun. Live however you want to live. I don't care as long as you're not hurting anybody else. But when you drink and drive, you are hurting other people. Buzz driving is drunk driving. I don't want to sound like a billboard. Just don't do it.
Pay for someone to drive you around. Do that.
Uber's so easy. And here's a pro tip, man. Really easy. Really a freaking pro tip. They make these batteries. Anker has one, Anker. And this is definitely not a sponsor, but I use the shit out of this. And it's only like $20 on Amazon. And it has like 6 or 7 charges built into it. Has 2 USB plugs. They even make solar ones. So if you're going out for the weekend, both guys and girls, pepper spray, right? And one of these Anker power banks, power battery, the battery chargers. So if your iPhone or your Android, and always keep an extra power cable and power charger with you, especially if you're going out drinking. You got a purse. I wear a fanny pack sometimes. I don't give a shit. I'm not out partying in bars, so I got my, the Joe Rogan, the hemp utility belt.
Oh, nice.
I love the thing. It's antimicrobial, blah, 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 and it carries a bunch of stuff. So extra power cord, extra charger, and one of those those extra batteries from Anker, and a pepper spray.
Powers your phone?
Yeah, dude. And they even have a solar one too. So if you're camping,
interesting,
you can charge it. It's basically it looks like kind of a bigger phone, like a narrow, larger phone, and it has 2 USB ports and a charging port. And you charge that thing to where if your phone runs out of juice, you plug it into your phone, and you can charge your phone like 7 times. And there's like 2 plugs, so you can charge 2 phones at the same time, or an iPad.
Damn.
Yeah, so
some juice in it.
Don't drink and drive, and don't set yourself up for failure. Like, if your phone were to run out of charge or out of whatever, what would you do? So carry those extra batteries. Be smart. Be safe. That's where I stop with the PSA, dude.
That was a good safety tip.
I always carry the extra battery. I always do, and not just because I do the podcast. I always want to make sure I'm ready, but I don't want to be stranded.
No.
Here's my last one. Those the phone cases that are also a wallet?
Yeah.
Those are really convenient, right?
Yeah.
So here's how convenient they are. It's like I have my phone and my card all in one place. So if I lose that case, I might as well kill myself because I've got nothing. Don't do it. Like, have a card or a money clip or a wallet with you. Keep the phone and the wallet separate. Convenience is this negotiation we do where we're giving something else away. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And with the iPhones, with the little thumbprint thing, we decided that personal security was more important than convenience. We decided that that our own privacy was more important was less important than convenience, is what I want to say it. So with the phone case that has the cards, you're basically saying that survival is less important than convenience. And it's not. Survival, like safety, security, these are concepts you only understand when they're taken away. If you lose a phone that has all your cards and money in it too, and then you're stranded, then what? Who are you going to call? Ghostbusters ain't coming.
No one.
So that's my 4th of July tips. Don't drive drunk. Don't put your phone and your cards in the same place, and carry a fucking extra charger, some fucking mace. Ladies out there, mace a dude. Stand up for yourselves.
I would.
Fuck yeah, I'd mace dudes. Be like, I said no. No means no, mace.
Yeah, straight up.
Mace. I don't know. I'm all into like self-defense lately. I've been like, I was Valente Brothers. I was training over Henry Akins. So they're very self-defense focused jiu-jitsu. Man, I really enjoyed going to Valente Brothers though.
Right on.
It's like, I want to say it's traditional jiu-jitsu, but in terms of there is striking, There are throws, and there's some weapon disarmament stuff, but there's rolling, and there were some pretty good, like, solid ground concepts and submissions.
When you say they're striking, when actually?
In the
In the gi?
yeah.
During the roll?
When you're drilling, you'll be drilling like strike defense. They do have certain classes that are focused on striking.
Interesting.
But because they believe that jiu-jitsu, the original jiu-jitsu, before it spun off to kind of judo, it was a separate thing than what we do now. But they do the rolling. If you go and ask, like, hey, I want to compete in blah, blah, blah BJJ tournament, they're going to be like, great, but that's not what we're doing here. You should probably get training on that.
Yeah.
But when you go and you roll with the guys, you're like, oh, it's the same thing. They're
got you.
As instructors, they're not sitting there and saying to use the turtle and to, like, give your back up.
Yeah, hell no.
Because you can get punched. But some of the defenses, some of, like, just OG defenses to moves we use all the time, to the triangle, to the arm locks, to the chokes and stuff, they had very strong fundamentals, and it definitely applies to what we do in the gi in competition. They're just not explicitly saying this is for competition, because that's not what they teach.
Yeah.
So they've got this huge facility down North Miami Beach that they built just for jiu-jitsu. It's 3 stories tall, state of the art. I got the backstage tour of. I can talk about some things and some other things I can't because they want to unveil it themselves. But they definitely have a museum that's. They have a library in there, and the library's got some very cool old school texts.
Very cool.
And I was shown some photos of Elio and Carlos from, like, the 50s. It was on this big ring, and they were old, and, like, I guess they were for the instructors. Like, here's how you show each, just a little description of each technique. And it's everyone that says that, leg locks and jiu-jitsu don't go hand in hand. I have seen firsthand 6 or 7 instructional, like, slide deck things of Elio and Carlos doing ankle locks, toe holds, knee bars, and heel hooks. And this is in the 50s jiu-jitsu, and somehow it turned into that, like, leg locks were this dirty thing in jiu-jitsu. I can tell you for a fact, and you got to listen to this guy. This the last 2 episodes ago, Pedro Valente.
I've seen it.
They've been part of the Elio Gracie sort of side of jiu-jitsu since the 50s, since Rio, since the Gracie Academy basically started in Rio, right? And these guys know their stuff. It was a history lesson being there. It was fun training. They gave me a gi to use.
Did you have to give it back?
Yeah. You wouldn't really. I mean, so it's all logoed out and patched up and stuff, and it's not like our gis that we wear. It's almost like a karate gi in terms of how light it was, with stiff lapels. So it was like the Elio cut, is what I've heard it called. It was cool. Because it was hot as shit in Miami Beach.
Oh, that's where we are.
Yeah, so giving you that gi is like, okay, all right.
That
It has, like,
was
little
perfect.
shorter sleeves, had, like, a smock thing going, but not real.
Cheater gi?
It was, yeah, but who's cheating? There's no competition. There's no tournament.
Competition with yourself.
They had dude, for the size of the mat space, those classes were packed.
Interesting. That's cool, man.
I've heard criticisms. I posted on Reddit that we did the show, and I went and met the Valente brothers, and people are like, "Oh, it's good for this, but not this." And I'm like, guys, these guys have been around since the 50s, and I took the class at the headquarters. The actual Elio Gracie black belt, Pedro Valente, is teaching all the classes in there, and his brothers are teaching privates at the same time.
So cool.
You can't really knock it. I mean, they're like, oh, they're good business people. That's cool. That means that gym's gonna be there a while. That means that as a student, those guys, they have it pretty good. They have a great lineage. The people know they're there for self-defense. And dude, I like to compete. I go to tournaments. I coach. I compete.
Oh, yeah.
And I support the whole thing. I don't think one's better than the other. But what I think is it's cool that they're honest with their students, and they're like, if you want to compete, go over there. Like, that's fine. There's, like, Brazilian or American top teams right there. There's some Cyborg's right there. Abreu. He's over there. So I think it's cool, man.
Cyborg's tight.
Cyborg is tight. So I was there. I hit up Cuba. Cuba.
That is so legit. Legit. Is there a Starbucks in Cuba?
No, nothing like that. No. It's cool. It's all local businesses. It was like taking a time machine back to the 1950s, where only a couple people realized you were in 2017. You know what I mean? Like there were some people that had hustle. That Airbnb is the thing there. Right now, it's not certain if there's a lot of those people are still going to have income, because it is a communist nation, right? And if you say the majority of the tourists or the people that were coming, I shouldn't say tourists because tourism is technically illegal there unless you're in a huge group, but the majority of people that are staying in those Airbnbs are from the United States. You can be a Canadian, go over there. You can be from Europe, wherever the hell you want, and you can still go to Cuba. But our proximity to Cuba, 40 minutes from Fort Lauderdale over to Havana, right? That's the money these guys are making. So you're taking that away now, and they're already on, very fixed means. It's you are where you are. You got people just walking around the streets holding cartons of eggs and shit.
Yeah, man.
So it's unfortunate because they did just they took back some of the Obama sanctions, because Obama basically allowed us to go visit there, and Trump dialed some of that back. The individual travel, I still don't know how that affects me. My visa was for journalism, because tourism's already off the books. Like you couldn't do it. You could go as foreign aid. You could go as a volunteer. You could go as some sort of a medical thing or as part of a bigger group, a nonprofit or something like that. But if you just go as hey honey, we're just gonna go and visit Cuba real quick, no, you can't. You have to have a visa, and the visa wasn't hard to obtain.
You need a reason to go there.
You need a reason, and I know there's people out there that are like, well, I'll just say it's this, okay. And my experience with the process was they weren't very stringent in checking stuff. I mean, I had all my gear. You can Google the show. You can Google the stuff I do, writing and blogging and podcasts. You can okay, this person is a journalist. Fine, you could do that. I don't know how much they did check it before they gave me my visa. I don't know. Could you slide by and just lie? Probably. It's Cuba. If they catch you lying and you're in their country and they don't want to, you're in the middle of already a diplomatic nightmare.
I've seen Locked Up Abroad, dude. I'm good.
That. No,
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm respectful as a visitor.
I'm good.
You know
Locked
what I'm saying?
Up Abroad.
When I go to somebody's house, I'm like, shoes on, shoes off. That's
what's up?
You know what I'm saying? In a new country, no. You speak when spoken to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because there are people that if you were to say something bad about Castro, they will rat you out. And
it's not going to be like a California or American city where you're just going to start spouting off your mind.
No. So
you're just going to start spouting off your mind.
So here's the only tips I can kind of give people is kind of be respectful. If you do visit, you do go through, you get the visa, and legally through whatever is allowed now with Trump's new stuff. Say you do go as an American in Cuba. Here's things you don't do. One, don't bring U.S. dollars. They're going to tax you an extra 10% on top of a very unfavorable conversion rate. You're going to get ripped off bad. What you do is instead convert those, go to your bank or go to an actual, not the one at the airport because they'll rip you off too. Before you even do your trip, you convert your U.S. dollars to euros. Then when you get to Cuba, you change those euros in for their peso. There are two types of their currency. One's basically for foreigners, one's for locals. If you're only staying in Havana, you're not going to get access to that other currency. Don't even worry about it. It helps if you speak some Spanish.
Yeah, I bet.
For your place to stay, Airbnb was tremendous. You're going to be taking cabs everywhere.
Damn, dude, that is so crazy. I feel like it's such a primitive and crazy place to even travel and visit, but it's probably going to be super cool.
I'm gonna throw a collection of videos online to kind of see what it is. I'll show you on here after. It's modest, right, in terms of what people have, but the Airbnb, man, it was pretty nice. It was a nice condo, compared to. I spent a lot of time in Brazil, a lot of time in Mexico.
I'm gonna go to Peru in a couple of weeks.
Cool. Where? Lima or?
Lima and Cusco.
Ooh.
We're also going to see Machu Picchu. So I'm going for a couple of, 10 days, 12 or whatever. I'm going for a little while, but I'm excited, man. It's going to be tight.
Nice. Bottle of water. drink
Oh.
bottled water. Dude, I had antibiotics ready to go one trip to Brazil, and I had them like sitting right on my counter, and I forgot them. And I did get food poisoning bad to the point of losing like 10, 15 pounds. Quick. And it was over Christmas and New Year. So I was the biggest party pooper. I was Mr. Buzzkill because everybody wanted to do stuff. And I'm like, I just want to not die real quick.
Yeah.
Because anything I'd eat or drink would, and it's like 1,000 degrees and humid there, which I like the humidity and the warm weather when I can jump in the pool. But you don't jump in a pool if you got food poisoning. You're that's gross. You know what I'm saying? Like there's farticles, there's stuff. You could shower as much as you want to, but like I feel like a respectable swimming area should not have anybody that's, you know what I mean? Like
With anal leakage.
there should be no anal leakage, no farticles, nothing. No farticles, man. Yeah, so there was that. There's a lot of Vegas lately. I talked about that a little bit, but
you know, actually, I got that hot date here in a little bit.
Oh, you do?
So if there's any way we might have to start steering it towards the end, you know, maybe wrapping this thing up.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, shit. I'm actually supposed to be in LA very shortly.
That's right, man. We got a lot of things to see and people to do.
New Japan Pro Wrestling, G1, and
that's probably going to be pretty sick.
Oh,
that's going to be a spectacle.
I watched night one on TV. I thought I was gonna go to the night one, but the tickets were like $1,500. People would charge that. They were originally like $20
for Japanese wrestling.
It's the first time they showed
So
up here,
crazy.
and dude, I watched the show on AXS TV. It was cool.
Right on.
It was really cool. And just seeing, you know, it's gonna be the first ever United States champion from New Japan.
Sakuraba showing up.
Dude, you never know who they bring to these things. Like Josh Barnett was on commentary with Jim Ross. Yeah, Josh Barnett's the man in pro.
What?
I gotta go.
That's so awesome.
So I'm about to take my ass on the road. You gotta go see the
Hot
lady.
date, yeah, man.
Hot date. You got your got the Jamaica shirt right there, bleeding through that green screen.
Representing
Right streets of New York.
streets of New York's in my heart, son.
Sublime Taleo Optics. Here's a spoiler. Nobody knows this. No, like the people that were there know this. There was a nice warm day in San Diego at 99 headquarters with the legendary Eduardo Tellis and Lionel Turner from Leo Optics, the man from Leo Optics.
Cool.
And he showed me a prototype of some glasses. This thing is about to come out. And he's like, what do you think of these? What should we call them? And I looked at him. I was like, those are the Copas. Copacabana, right? Like the famous dance club, the famous hotel in Havana, Cuba. I was there.
Nice.
I've been to 3 Copas now. Copacabana on the beach in Brazil. I've been to the Salsa Club in New York City. And now I've been to the Copacabana in fucking Havana, Cuba. I got the Triforce of Copas. So I felt like it was just on my mind. I said, those are the Copas, the Copacabana. You're on the beach, Brazil. You got your coconut drink. You got the beach. You got the boom boom walking by. That's the Copas. And they named them the Copa.
Very cool.
So shout out to Leo Optics. Love those glasses. Send me some Copas. Anyway, thanks again, Anthony Baker. Just wanted to come chop it up. You fucking sponsor this guy. Send him to Masters World.
Monday Motivation on Facebook. Check me out.
That's it.
Anthony Baker Show on Instagram or www.com. Check it out.
Cool. And as always, be good to each other. Be safe this 4th of July weekend. Happy Independence Day. For all the Canadians I missed yesterday, I think Canada Day was yesterday, right? That was a thing.
I don't know.
Love the Canadians.
Don't drink and drive.
Don't fucking drink and drive. It's bad for you. One World Jiu-Jitsu, a.k.a. Sunnyvale. Lots of love. Thanks to
Get
everybody
some.
for all the hospitality. And thank you, Anthony Baker.
No problem,
Coming
sir.
on to the shizzo.
Thank you. My pleasure.
All right, go get motivated.
You know it.